Hello and welcome, one and all, to PBE. This is our second day of the second week of this S43 season. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I am. Hold on. Let me fix the stat scroll here. I am flying solo today. Sorry, I fixed it on one screen. It didn't carry over to the other. That's disappointing. Let's do that. We'll do that. Perfect. I'm flying solo today, but I'm not really alone when I have all of you guys. We've got a bunch of games in store today, so looking forward to calling all the action. We have, well, let's just look at the schedule. Let's look at the schedule. What's good, Slothface? So we're going to start out with a live stream game. Not sure who the mods are today, if you're helping out now, Space, or who we got. But we've got the Amarillo Armadillos and the let's make this guy a little bit bigger. Perfect. And the Brew City Bears. Puerto Rico Ranas hosting the Chicago Kingpins after that. Florida Flamingos and the Kansas City Hepcats squaring off. State College Swifties and the Louisville Lemurs are our fourth sim of the night. And finally, we're going to finish things off with a prime time 2 matchup. Boise Raptors, San Antonio Sauce in the Treehouse. So yeah, we've got 5 games in store. We're going to kind of go through them bang bang, and we'll get you out of here before bedtime. Yeah, so let's go back to stream. We are on Monday, June 2nd, so we've got to advance the day to the 3rd and get to our first game. Again, mods, if you could put a prediction up, or I can if we don't have a mod. Maybe I should double check, actually. Um, Okay, well, I'm not seeing anyone. So we'll do a prediction. We'll do a prediction here. I'll start one because we might have a crash. So it was Amarillo and Brew City, correct? Um, you know what? Let's just do a what is the first plate appearance? How about that? We'll do a first plate appearance. Is it an out or a not out? 5 minutes, get your predictions in. All right, what's the result of the first plate appearance? It's the Brew City Bears and Amarillo Armadillos. I'm going to save things here and attempt to advance the day. That attempt has failed. All right. Get your predictions in while I relaunch everyone's favorite baseball sim engine. Okay, we're back. Okay, got about 2,000 points wager. Let me advance the day for real this time and go over to our minor league matchups. Bears and Dillos, both teams very, very close in terms of record. So we'll see how things play out. If it influences your decision, looks like it's going to be hot hitting Kirby Bernard due up first. So is he going to get an out or is he going to get a not out? We're using Power Pros. It's Power Pros. 80s TV jingle. Okay. All right. All right. Get your predictions in here. We're going to get things started here momentarily while we have a few people filtered in. Kind of a quiet stream so far. All right, let's do it. I'm going to close the prediction down. We're going to get going on our first stream game of the day. Looks like about 50-50, a little bit more favored toward the outside. So, see if that holds true. First pitch coming from Leah Squirrel. Looks like it's going to be a nice day for baseball, and it is a strikeout by the Squirrel. Kirby Bernard goes down on the 1-2, so it is an out. And we got back-to-back Ks for out number 2. Tyler Toksum.
Strike 3.
Striking out, and that is Squirrel striking out the side for the Brew City Bears in the top of the first. So 1, 2, 3, they go. Brew City's bats with Nodis Ixendu up. Valorant Arcanum. So we got 2 minor league top starting pitchers going battle. I think, were they even in the same draft class maybe? That ball hit pretty well high, but caught in deep left center. No problem for Shrew. And that is going to be our first hit of the game. Steve Gonzalez Jr. getting this one past the third baseman for a 2-out single. Effectively a double with that stolen base. So runner in scoring position for Gainey, but Gainey is going to bounce out to the shortstop. 4 out number 3, top of the second we go. No runs in this one. Ruiz starting things off. The Dillo's hot hitting catcher batting left, strikes out swinging. So that's 4 straight strikeouts for the Squirrel. Leah Squirrel, that is. Full count, and a diving grab and left by Ixon saves a hit. And now Vince Whirlwind strikes out for number 5 on the day for Squirrel through 2 full innings. No hits, no runs. Thomas Argent's going to lead things off. He's going to fly out to left field. No problem there for unique name. 3-run count to Niall Patterson. Bounces out to the shortstop. It's out number 2. This one pretty hot off the bat. Does it have enough? Yes, it does. Home run. Colton James. That's a new name. He's going yard in this one. 1-0 ball game in favor of the Brew City Bears. That ball from Houndstreamer going to be caught in right field. So the Bears score 1 on the solo shot. See what the Dillo's offense can do now that they trail. Robert Gordon, the DH, is going to bounce out to the first baseman, takes it himself. And Squirrel issues the first walk of the game. Sandshrew on first. Bring up Troy Murphy. And Murphy's going to get a hit up the middle. So runners on first and second. Kirby Bernard up, and Bernard is going to bounce out to the first baseman. Runners do advance into scoring position. 2 outs, so unique name of single can score him. Strikes out looking. Squirrel 6 strikeout. No runs across for the Dillos, despite the good scoring opportunity. Go to the bottom of the third. Xavier Payne due up.
Strike 3.
Payne is going to strike out swinging. For out number 1. As Arcanum trying to settle down after that home run given up. Ixon bounces out for a quick out number 2. And Rhino Leg will strike out swinging. Arcanum with 3 strikeouts through 3 innings. Just 1 earned as we go to the top of the 4th. Toxum's up and will draw the full count walk. Looks like that was pitch number 7. And then it's going to be a 4-6 fielder's choice that Leonidas Ruiz bounces into. That is a single, so Mills getting on base. That is the Dillo's second hit of the ball game through 3 1/3, and they're putting it on. Vince Whirlwind, does he have an RBI single? Yes, he does. Runner safe at home. Ruiz is. We've got a tie ball game at 1 apiece. As Squirrel's giving up a couple hits, and the hook is high. Squirrel's day is done. Dion Mitchell's entered the game and rolls up a 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. Dillos tie it up, but can't do anything else despite the good opportunity. Bears looking to recapture the lead, but Gonzalez Jr. is going to strike out swinging. That'll bring up Grayson Gainey. And Gainey's going to bounce out to the third baseman. 2 down quickly for the Bears bats. And make that a 1-2-3 inning for Valorant Arcanum through 4. Only 1 run allowed and 4 strikeouts, 2 hits. Top of the 5th we go. Sandshrew leading things off. Drew a walk previous time, and will do so again here. That 30-eye working overtime. Troy Murphy is going to fly out to center. That is out number 1. That ball pretty hot off Kirby Bernard's bat and gone into the upper deck. A 2-run homer, 400 feet, no doubt about it. The Dillos have taken the lead. Thanks to Kirby Bernard. 2-run, 1-out homer.
Strike 3.
Now, unique name, trying to keep it going, but that is a strikeout swinging. And Tyler Toxum up will fly out to center. So, 3-1 lead now for the Dills, who trailed by a run after the second. See if they can hold on to this lead. However, now Patterson might have something to say about it. Does not. Line out hard to left field. Unique name, grits it. And that is going to be a single to left by Colton James. He's got a couple hits, including that home run. And a line out by Hound Streamer. Do they double him up? No. Xavier Payne up as James steals second. Runner in scoring position. Payne giving this one a good ride, but caught by Sandshrew in center to end the inning. So Bears make a little action happen, but cannot get any runs across. Top of the 6th we go. Leonidas Ruiz is up, and that ball hit very, very high, but able to get to it is Gonzalez Jr. for out number 1. 2-1 count to Mills. Abigail Mills is going to get on with a single, so Dillos keeping the pressure on, but no! Mills caught napping on the base pass. Dion Mitchell picks her off, and then Vince Whirlwind's going to pop out to third baseman in foul territory to end the inning. Bottom of the 6th. Bruce City still hanging around, but they trailed by 2. Haven't been able to get much going against Arcanum, but maybe that'll change things. Ixon with a lead-off single down in the count. Not easy to do against a solid pitcher. And now steals second. Rhino Legs up and will ground out to the shortstop, but Ixon does advance to third. And Gonzalez Jr. is going to get the RBI knock. Second hit of the day for Steve Gonzalez Jr. 2-3 ball game. Bears trail by 1. Gainey will strike out to make it 2 outs in the 6th as Magnus Force has entered the game. So Arcanum's day is done, and Force is going to give up a single to Thomas Argent. Runners in the corners, 2 outs. Niall Patterson's up, and Patterson's going to bounce out in front of the catcher who whips it over to first for out number 3. No more runs across, just a 1-run differential game, though. Dillos, 7, 8, 9 hitters due up. Robert Gordon, the DH, will lead things off with a fly out to right. That is out number 1. Sandshrew swinging on the first pitch. He sees this at bat and will bounce out to the shortstop. And now Troy Murphy will fly out to right. 1, 2, 3. The Dillos go. I'll bring up the 7, 8, 9 hitters of the Brew City Bears.
Strike 3.
Colton James is up, and James is going to strike out on the 1-2 count. Bringing up Houndstreamer, and Houndstreamer is going to fly out to shallow right center. 1-2 go quickly here as Magnus Force gets Xavier Payne to line out to the third baseman. That is out number 3. Top of the 8th we go. Boil the crabs, huh? Crabs aren't even playing. This is a minor stream because we're really just a minor league. Kirby Bernard is going to lead things off with a leadoff single. Now unique name up, bounces out into the 5-4-3 double play. Nicely turned. Tyler Toksum with 2 outs. Grounds out to the first baseman. No problem for Niall Patterson. Bottom of the 8th we go. Brew City. Last 2 innings to make something happen. They trail by 1. Ixon, their leadoff man, is going to get on with a single. Grand style start for them. See if he swipes. Second, he will. He's in there easily. Rhino leg, runner in scoring position. 2-2 count. Magnus Force still in the game. He's going to bounce out to the pitcher. Runner does advance a third. Now we have Steve Gonzalez Jr. He's going to get a single up the middle. That's going to tie things up in the bottom of the 8th. Clutch hitting. Gonzalez Jr. with a 3-hit, 2 RBI day. And Gainey's going to line out to the second baseman. Runner just diving back. Thomas Argent, the second hit of the day. Now Niall Patterson with runner in scoring position lines out to center field. So the Bears tie it up. 3-3 ball game here. Top of the 9th we go. Leonidas Ruiz goes up. And Ruiz is going to lead things off with a single. His first hit of the ball game. Abigail Mills will also get a base hit, so Winnie the Paps giving up back-to-back hits here after a solid previous inning. But now a 4-6-3 double play, nicely turned. Runner does get to third, but they'll need a single to score him. And they're going to intentionally walk Gordon to bring up Sandshrew, and it pays off as Shrew strikes out swinging. Bottom of the 9th we go. Do we see extra innings here? Or will Colton James, Houndstreamer, be able to walk it off? James going to bounce out to the third baseman. 0-2 count for Houndstreamer, who gets beamed, so go ahead runner on first. Xavier Payne due up. Streamer is going to steal second. Runner in scoring position. Xavier Payne bounces out to the second baseman. A single will win it. Oh, or a wild pitch, and no, that's a pass ball on Leonidas Ruiz. The Brew City Bears win on a pass ball. 4-3 victory. Both teams sitting at 19 and 15 now. Wow, that is an outcome of all time. I'm probably not going to, I'm just flying solo today, so I'm probably not going to read off all the box scores, but you can kind of, I'll scroll through them real quick. So, player of the game, Valorant Arcana. Let's take a look at around the rest of the league here. 6-3 victory for the Lemurs over the Firehawks. Player of the game in this matchup is Sobert Randberg. A pretty solid day, I think. Yeah, 3-hit, 3 RBI day. You like it? State College winning 8-5 over the Kansas City Hepcats at home. We're going to see the Kansas City Hepcats later tonight. Actually, we're going to see almost all the minor league teams, I think. Player of the game in this one is going to be Hingle McCringleberry. And then we've got the Puerto Rico Ranas winning 3-2 walk-off in the bottom of the 9th. Looks like it is Barry the hero in this one. Quant Semikolas Jr., Chicago starter, player of the game, pitched really well, but the Kingpins take the loss. Anchorage Wheelers winning 3-1 on the road against the Florida Flamingos. It's going to be a 3-hit day for Panda. Nicely done. Player of the game in this one is Herbert Fisher, Anchorage starter, pitching admirably in this one. Does not get the decision, though. Let's take it over to the major leagues, as we do have a prediction up. 9-1 victory for the Space Rangers over the Vancouver Vandals on the road in Canada. Looks like a big day for Allison Change there. Allegra Macarena, player of the game, getting the win in the start for the Space Rangers. Pathfinders hosting the Death Valley Scorpions. Scorpions try to come back in the ninth, but Pathfinders win 6-4. We check things out. Looks like a 2-home run day for Zach Johnson Jr. Zach Johnson Jr. is going to be your player of the game in Toronto, using a lot of their bullpen, but getting the job done at the end of the day. They get the win. New York Voyagers win 9-1, hosting the New Orleans Rougarou. Big day for Bellet Cove, who's having a solid season there. Crawford's going to get the win. Bellet Cove player of the game. And then the Providence Crabs hosting the Seattle Sea Serpents. They went 4-2. This 2-game series. I think all these matchups are going to be 2 games here. Ermagerd going the full distance, going to take the loss. Player of the game is going to be Ermagerd. More games here. Toro shut out the Buffalo Surge on the road. Not an easy thing to do. The Surge offense is pretty stout. And Matt Stroh going to be the player of the game. The Cancun starter, pitching incredibly well. 2 hits, 11 strikeouts. Nicely done. San Antonio Sloths win over the Detroit Demons at home, 9-5. Demons bats wake up just a little bit too late. I think the Sloths are back to 500, so watch out for them. Johannes Solberg, player of the game, going to get the win. Nice start for them. Boise Raptors win 4-3 over the Nashville Stars at home. Take a look at these. Looks like a 2-home run day for Jordan Gonzalez, not normally known for his power. Up to 11 home runs on the season already. That's crazy. Gonzalez is your player of the game in this one. All right, and then last, Aviators winning 5-3 over the Indianapolis Apex at home. Like a little bit of a back and forth game. Player of the game is going to be Benny Sheets, the Outer Banks starter. Pitched pretty decent in terms of strikeouts there. Did give up a few runs, but got the win. A win's a win. All right. I think coming up next, we have a quick sim. And then we will see Chicago and Puerto Rico Ranas. We have a who will score first prediction up, so be sure to wager your channel points in that one. All right. All right, let's do a quick sim here. It's going to be a 7-2 victory for the DVS Scorpions over. Well, DVS Scorpions a little bit redundant. It's like ATM machine. DVS 7-2 victory over the Pathfinders. They get a little revenge there. Looks like a big day for Kuma. Kuma will be your player of the game as we look at the pitching quick. Voyagers win 12-2 over the New Orleans Rougarou. Big offensive day for the Voyagers in this one. J.R. Francensero is going to be your player of the game. PDV2 with 13 strikeouts. So. Seattle Sea Serpents knock off the Crabs on the road in a very low-scoring game. Looks like some interesting offensive arrangements there. There's your pitching. Cookie, your player of the game in this one, pitched very well in the start. Buffalo Surge winning 6-3 over the Cancun Toros. A bit of a revenge game there as well. Clifton's going to get the win. Denstro, the player of the game there for Buffalo. It's going to be the Indianapolis Apex knocking off the Aviators. That is a 10-5 victory for the Apex. 20-15 on the season. Solid start for their season. A lot of home runs in this one. Koala Kyle could be your player of the game. Detroit Demons winning one on the road against the San Antonio Sloths. 12-6 for them. A lot of hits, both teams really, but Detroit making the most out of them. They also walked 7 times. Oh, Zane Cold's gonna be your player of the game, wasn't? But he's on the for the Sloths there. Yeah. All right, keeping it moving. Nashville Stars winning on the road against the Raptors, 9-7. And then the player of the game is going to be Alexandra Hirahara for the Stars, I believe. Yeah. All right, and the Space Rangers sweep the Vancouver Vandals here. 10-4 victory for them in the end here. Again, be sure to get those predictions up and going. Looks like it's going to be Scumino Holka Avano as your player of the game. All right, let's look at the minor league matchups here. We'll do a little quick sim-in. Checking things out. Anchorage Wheelers knocking down the Florida Flamingos. 8-2 victory for them. Mrs. Dirk is going to be your player of the game. The Anchorage starter getting the win. Kansas City Hepcats winning over the State College Swift Steeds on the road. Looks like 2 runs in the bottom of the 8th to get them the victory. Boog Barrow is going to be your player of the game in this matchup. Going to be the Lemurs winning 6-4 over the Firehawks. So we check things out here. Rick Roll, the Louisville Lemurs starter, is your player of the game. Dillos win 5-2 over the Brew City Bears. We saw in the stream matchup, the Bears won the first one. Dillos, we've seen a lot of that this first 2 sim days, where one team will win the first game and then the next team or the other team will win the next game. Saw a lot of flip-flop series here. Tyler took some of your player of the game in this matchup. And then the Chicago Kingpins, we're going to see them up next here. Win 7-3 over the Puerto Rico Ranos. It's going to be Cryas Kid, your player of the game for the Kingpins. All right. Just make sure we're on schedule here. We're going to go to June 5th and have the Ranas host the Chicago Kingpins here. Time is winding down, but be sure to wager those channel points. We're going to start this momentarily. Okay, predictions close. We're going to have Pee Wee Matthews throwing out the first pitch to Evanescence. And here we go. Looks like it's going to be a nice warm day for baseball here in Puerto Rico as they host the Kingpins of Chicago. First plate appearance is going to be an out. Evanescence bounces out to the first baseman. Pedro Blanco lines out to the center fielder for out number 2. Cryas Kid will bounce out to the first baseman. So 1, 2, 3, the Kingpins bats go. We'll go to the top or bottom of the first. Puerto Rico Rano's Styles Stern due up. Or Sterling Stern, sorry. 2-2 count as Luna Jose Rodriguez Ortiz going to get the start for the Kingpins. Pitching incredibly well this season. Does give up a gap shot to Inez Cove. So 1 on at second, 1 out for Quentin DeYoung. That ball hot off the bat, and Apo Taco gone. A home run, 2-run shot by Quentin DeYoung. Puerto Rico Ranas take an early 2-0 lead in this one.
Strike 3.
Griffin Berry is going to strike out swinging. Tex Justice Jr. is going to bounce out to end the inning. But the Ranos strike first. 2-0 ball game. And this one is go to the top of the second. Murphy the second, Chicago's right fielder, set to lead things off. And that is going to be an infield single, Chicago's first hit of the game. Al Capone, batting DH, will fly out to right field. That's out number 1. Anthony Simmons the third. He'll strike out on the full count. Bringing up Dave Honkball. Runner moving on the pitch because it was full count with 2 outs, and he'll bounce out to the first baseman. So nothing doing for the Kingpins in the top of the second. We'll go to the bottom of this inning.
Out of the park.
Appreciate the sub there, Scud Muffin. It is going to be Big Hurt Thomas getting an infield single, and then Berezowski is going to go opposite field. That is hit number 2 just in this inning. Steele Stern going to bounce out to the 3-6 fielder's choice runners at the corners. 1 out.
Strike 3.
Wesley Quinn strikes out, though. That would have been a clutch at bat to get a run across. Sterling Stern up, flies out to right, and the Ranas don't scratch any more runs across despite the couple hits. Bottom of the second is over. Top third, Davis Jr. leading things off the Kingpins. They trail by 2. Pee Wee Matthews deals, bounces out to the shortstop. That is out number 1. Jalexi Alexander on the 0-1 count is going to bounce out to the first baseman. So 2 up, 2 down quickly for the Kingpins. Favorable count for Evanescence, who's going to line it directly to Sterling Stern in center for out number 3. An L8, if you will. Bottom of the third we go. Puerto Rico with a 2-0 lead. See if they can add to it. Inez Cove had that hit earlier. Lines out to right. DeYoung now up with 1 out. Had a bomb to get this game really going. Will get a single. 2 hits in the day for DeYoung. Griffin Berry is going to draw the walk here on the full count. Now bring up Tex Justice Jr. who flies out to left. Runners on first and second. 2 out. Now bases juices. Big Hurt Thomas draws the walk. Berezowski up. And Berezowski's going to get a big single to center field. Runners just go stay in the station. Thought they could have scored the runner from second, but looks like it's going to be Barry holding up at third. Base is still loaded, and that's a Steele Stern single up the middle. 2 RBI single. Puerto Rico has scored 3 in this third inning. Now lead 5-0. Big 2-out rally for him. Bauer Bottoms entered the game. And Wesley Quinn is going to... Oh, no! It's an error on Evanescence, and that is going to score the run all the way from second. Sterling Stern cannot keep the game or inning alive, but the Puerto Rico Ranas pour it on here in the bottom of the third. They lead 6-0. Kingpins in a hole. Pedro Blanco is going to lead things off with a walk, and then Cryas Kid's striking out swinging. Not a very competitive at-bat there. Blanco picked off there by Matthews at first. Bring up Kent Murphy the second with 2 outs. Flies out to left, so absolutely nothing going for the Kingpins here through the first 4 innings. Matthews locking them down. Puerto Rico playing with the lead as Anais Cove is going to draw the walk. Quentin DeYoung strikes out swinging. That's an out number 1. Griffin Berry, Puerto Rico's catcher, is going to get a single past the shortstop. And, oh, hold on. We've got a wild pitch. Runners on second and third now. And Texas Justice Jr. is going to get the runner in from third, but bounces out shortstop. 2 down, runner on second. 7-0 lead for the Ranas. Big Hurt Thomas grounds out to the third baseman to end the 4th. Puerto Rico getting another one across. We go to the top of the 5th. Chicago trailing by 7. Al Capone leading things off. And Al Capone's going to strike out looking for 1 out. Simmons, the third, is going to get a 1-out base hit. Dave Honkball now up as we've got a Simmons, the third, stolen base, getting in there easily. And Honkball's going to get this one down the right field line. That's going to score 1, so the Kingpins are on board. The runners trade places there. RBI double from Dave Honkball. DeQuavion Davis Jr. now. The 1-2 count is going to fly out to right. Bit of a trek there for Berezowski, who's going to see up first next inning. As Alexi Alexander strikes out and ends this top half of the 5th. 1-7 ball game now. The Kingpins score 1. Bottom of the 5th, Marizis Berezowski is going to fly out to right. That is out number 1. Steele Stern giving this one a pretty good ride, but caught just in front of the warning track by Murphy the second. And then Wesley Quinn bounces out to the second baseman. So 1-2-3 inning for the Ranas bats. That's what the Kingpins needed if they want to get back in this game. We're entering the last half of this ball game. Evanescence leading things off will bounce out to the second baseman. It's 1 out. Pedro Blanco up, draws the walk. We got a runner on first, 1 out for Cryas Kid, who bounces out into the 4-6 fielder's choice. They do not turn 2. And then Kent Murphy the second is going to bloop a single to left. So runners on first and second, 2 outs. Al Capone up, and Capone lines out directly to Sterling Stern in center. Out number 3. Bottom of the 6th we go. That very same Stern is going to be leading things off for the Ranas. And that is going to be a fly out to center. 1 down. Anais Cove. Second hit of the day for Cove. And Quentin DeYoung is going to bounce out into the 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. So Kingpins are keeping the Ranas quiet the last couple innings, but they have a pretty large deficit to go. Simmons the third is going to start things off with a single, though. Good start. Good start. Honkball, who had that RBI double earlier, is going to line out to center. And then a stolen base attempt going wrong. Simmons the third caught, swiping second. And DeQuavion Davis Jr. is going to foul out to the first baseman to end the top of the 7th. Bottom of the inning we go. Puerto Rico trying to pour it on here with their 4, 5, 6 hitters. Heart of the order due up. And Griffin Berry is going to get a single just past the second baseman there. Tex Justice Jr. bounces out into the 3-6 fielder's choice. Can't quite turn 2. Big Hurt Thomas due up. And Thomas gets a single past the shortstop. Runners on first and second. 1 down for Berezowski, who's got 2 hits in the game. Cannot get his third, though, as Evanescence able to run in and grab it. And then Steele Stern bounces this one back to the pitcher. Quick reflexes on the mound there. Gets over to first for out number 3. Top of the 8th we go. 1-7 ball game. Chicago, their last 6 outs to make something happen. Alexi Alexander lines out to left. That's 1 down. And Evanescence watches strike 3 go by for out number 2. Pedro Blanco, hitless in this game, is going to remain so. Fly out to right to end the inning. Bottom of the 8th could very well be the last chance for the Ranas to score or hit here. See if they make the most of it. Wesley Quinn's going to bounce out to the shortstop. Kind of playing behind second there. One down. Sterling Stern lines out to the center field counterpart. And Ace Cove ends this inning. 1-2-3, the Ranas go. He bounces out to the second baseman. Top of the ninth. Cryas Kid leading things off with a shot down the line, getting past the first baseman. And that is going to be a double. Now Kent Murphy, the second up, runner in scoring position as Saul Goodman's entered the game. But Murphy the second's going to bounce out. The third baseman runner has to hold at second. Full count for Al Capone. Gets a single between the third baseman and shortstop. Outfielder gets it in pretty fast, though. Runners to the corners, one down. Line out by Simmons the third, right at the second baseman for out number 2. And then Dave Honkball is going to fly out to right to end the inning. 7-1 victory for the Puerto Rico Ranas at home over the Chicago Kingpins. Yeah, they pretty much had the lead from the beginning and did not let go. Let's take a look at the game's box scores here. Player of the game is going to be Pee Wee Matthews, pitching pretty well. 5 1/3, getting the dub. Let's check out the rest of the league. Looks like the Flamingos get a win over the Anchorage Wheelers. Flamingos winning at home here. Player of the game is going to be Timothy Jimothy Jr. in this one. Lemurs win 6-0, shutting out the California Firehawks. All right, we got a prediction up. Who will win, Flamingos or Hepcats? Mata is going to be your player of the game, getting the win there for the Louisville starter. Swift Steeds winning 6-2 over the Kansas City Hepcats. Looks like Vincent Asaro is player of the game here in this one. Brew City Bears winning 4-3 over the Amarillo Armadillos. I think that was the result of the first game we saw on stream here, at least score-wise. Carl Johnson is going to be your player of the game. No decision for him, but did well in the Brew City start. And we already saw that one. Let's kick it over to the major leagues now. Seattle Sea Serpents knocking off the Outer Banks Aviators. They win 4-2 in extras. So that's, yeah, looks like Alyssa Jacob, the hero. Yeah, only 3 total hits for this Aviators squad. They still managed to score 2 runs. Incredible. Alyssa Jacob going to be your player of the game. The San Antonio Sloths going to win 10-7 over the Cancun Toros. Big offensive day for San Antonio. Zane Cold again, player of the game there. Sloss, first baseman or DH, whatever he's playing, third base, excuse me. Hitting hot. Apex win 8-3 over the Boise Raptors. Player of the game, this one's going to be Curtis McKenzie. And it'll be the Demons knocking down the Vandals 6-2. Victory for the Demons at home. Taking a look at the player of the game, it's going to be Travis Granholm, longtime Detroit Demon member there. Pathfinders winning 4-1 over the Nashville Stars. Checking out the pitching, it's Orion Thrasterson, your player of the game in the win there, almost going the distance. 10 strikeouts. Mar with the 1-out save. Death Valley Scorpions knocking down the Providence Crabs 13-3 at home. A big offensive day there for DVS. Player of the game is going to be Rake Slammer. This one, also no Petrovic going 3 innings in relief. Buffalo Surge win 8-0 over the New Orleans Rougarou. Lewis High on Randall Jr. going to be your player of the game. 7 2/3, no earned and 5 strikeouts. Buffalo starter getting the win. And the Space Rangers are going to knock down the New York Voyagers 11-2. Space Rangers winning here at home. Big offensive day for Lunar Base. And it's going to be Callie Alvarez, your player of the game in this one. Okay, be sure to wager your channel points again. I think, according to the schedule here, we got a quick sim, and then it's going to be Flamingos, Hepcats, State College Swift Seeds, and Louisville Lemurs. So we'll kind of stream one, quick sim one is the going trend. All right, let's do another one. Outer Banks getting some revenge on the Sea Serpents. Close one here in Seattle. 3-2 victory for OBX. Gianna Morgan, the OBX starter, going to be your player of the game in this one. Toros knocking down the Sloss 2-1. Very low scoring game, considering how the previous one went. It's going to be Johnny Quest, the Cancun starter, your player of the game. Notice it, but 15 strikeouts in just 6 innings of work. It's going to be the Apex winning over the Boise Raptors 4-2. Apex have been playing good baseball through the first week and a half or so. Gonzalez just keeps hitting home runs somehow. Trang Lila, the Apex starter, no decision, is your player of the game. 10 strikeouts in 6 innings. The Demons get a 2-1 victory over the Vancouver Vandals. Both teams with just 5 total hits each. Yeah, 15 Ks, 5 walks. That's kind of like a Dylan Cease stat line, you know? The White Sox pitcher used to be on the way. I don't know. I haven't kept track of the transactions well. Human's going to be your player of the game in this one. It's going to be the Pathfinders winning in extras over the Toronto Stars 7-6. Josef Pilsudski is going to be your player of the game in this one. Space Ranger is going to knock down the Voyagers again here. 6-3 victory for them. Callie Alvarez again, your player of the game in this one. And the Death Valley Scorpions winning again over the Providence Crabs. 8-5 victory for them. Rake Slammer, once more, your player of the game. Buffalo Surge win 8-2 over the New Orleans Rougarou. Look, a big day for Calavera. Yeah, Manny Calavera is going to be your player of the game in this one. All right. Swinging over to the minor leagues. Don't have any minor league games. Perfect. Let's get ready for our third stream game of the day. So we keep things moving along here. We're not quite an hour into the stream. Florida Flamingos and Kansas City Hepcats. Who you got winning? Last chance to get your predictions in. All right, last chance gets your predictions in. First pitch underway coming from Starburns Glorbenspiel. And Ichiban Sakudo going to be up first for the Flamingos. Both teams sitting under 500. Still early in the season, though. And that is going to be a Sakudo ground out to the third baseman. Close play, but Azo gets it done. 0-2 count for Cattell, who bounces this one back to the pitcher weekly for out number 2. Jefferson Steelflex strikes out swinging. And that will do it. 1-2-3, the Flamingos bats go. As we are here in Kansas City, bottom of the first, Garbanzo leading things off. Garbanzo's going to strike out swinging. And with one out, Don Marcus will draw the walk. Steve-O flies out to right. No problem at all for DeVille. And a pickoff here. Furness gets Don Marcus kind of leaning off the bases there. End of the first we go. No scores in this one. Top of the second, Daniel King gets a single, first hit in the game. So runner on first, nobody out for Nash DeVille. And that is going to be a walk. Runners on first and second, nobody out. Lightning McQueen bounces out with a 4-6-3 double play. 2 outs quickly here, but runner does get to third. D. Fernandez trying to drive him in, but caught in center by Thriller. So no runs coming across for the Flamingos. Bottom of the second. Shaw Dynasty up. And Dynasty's going to line this one. Line drive, home run to left center. First run of the ball game. And that is a big shot. That trajectory was so low, but it still went 410 feet crazy. Ryan Lawrence up. Strikes out swinging for out number 1. Damian Thriller. Nobody on. Swinging at the first pitch he sees today. That is a lead-off single. Mitchie Mantle up. Will draw the walk. Now Slim Mathers is up. And Mathers is... Oh, that is an error, I think, on the throw from the catcher. They tried to get the runner at second. Bounces all the way to the outfield. The Hepcats score 1. And then this one burning down the left field line by Azo. That's going to score 2. Sliding double. Hepcats up now 4-0 in this bottom of the second. And they're still pouring it on here. Garbanzo with the walk. Don Marcus up, will fly out to right. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Steve-O will bounce out to the 6-4 fielder's choice to end the inning. 4-0 ball game. Hepcats take a big lead here. Top of the third. It's Dan Johnston up.
Strike 3.
That is a big hack, swing and a miss. One down. Jimothy Jr. now. We'll get a 1-out base hit. Ichiban Sakudo now grounds out to the 5-4-3 double play. Nicely turned there by Don Marcus, and the Hepcats take care of business in the top of the third. Bottom of the third we go. See if they can keep pouring it on. Shaw Dynasty had that big shot to lead things off, and he's going 2 home runs in one game, pulling this one just over the right field wall. Now a 5-0 ball game, but multi-homer day for Shaw Dynasty. 2 solo shots helping drive this Hepcats offense. Ryan Lawrence up, and Lawrence is going to strike out. Damian Thriller bounced out to the shortstop. 2 down quickly now after the home run. Mitchie Mantle keep things going. That is going to sizzle down that left field line. Sliding double for Mantle with 2 outs. Slim Mathers, runner in scoring position, grounds out to the third baseman. Flamingos get out of it. They trail by 5, the Flamingos do, as we go to the top of the fourth. Catil, Steelflex, and King set to lead things off. Catil going to fly deep, but caught in right field. That's out number 1. Steelflex is going to bounce out to the first baseman. That's out number 2. Full count to Daniel King, who draws the walk. Wormsfield pitching well in this one, but has issued his first or second walk of the game. Weak bouncer back to the pitcher by Nash DeVille. Dumps over to first, and the inning is over. The sides are tired. Bottom of the fourth we go. Hepcats bats up. Azo leading things off. And getting this one all the way to the wall. One hops the wall, and Azo, I think, had a double earlier. 2 doubles in this one. Runner in scoring position for Garbanzo. Hepcats leadoff hitter. Bounces this one right to the shortstop, though. Runner has to hold. Don Marcus up. Flies out to right. That is out number 2. Stevo, without a hit, to this point, will continue to do so. Bounces out to the second baseman. So after the leadoff double, Hepcats can't get anything across. Flamingos, 6, 7, 8 hitters set to go. They still trail by 5. Lightning McQueen is going to strike out swinging. We'll bring up D. Fernandez. And Fernandez is going to bloop a single. That is only the 3rd hit for the Flamingos through to this point. Dan Johnston will fly out to left. That is out number 1, or 2, excuse me. And then the 6-4 fielder's choice that Timothy Jimothy Jr. grounds out into will retire the side. Glorbenspiel pitching well, 5 innings, 3 strikeouts, and no earned runs to this point. Only 3 hits allowed. Shaw Dynasty with 2 home runs. Can't make it 3 there. Bloops this one up to the third baseman. And Ryan Lawrence with 1 out is going to get a knock, as Theodore Furness's day is probably coming to a close. That ball hit up the middle. Runners on first and second, 1 down, and Apollo Hyde has entered the game to relieve Furness. Out of the park. And Hyde's going to give up a single to Mantle. Runner does not come around third, though, so we got the bases juice with 1 out. And Mathers is going to get a single. And then it bounces past the right fielder to score both. That is another Flamingos error here in this one. 7-0 lead for the Hepcats. And that is going to be a 2 RBI double. Also with 3 doubles in this game, and now 4 RBIs makes it a 9-0 ball game. Garbanzo bounces this one to deep shortstop, out number 2. And then Don Marcus trying to get an RBI of his own. First hit of the game will score Azo from second. 10-0 ball game. Stevo set to go. Apollo Hyde still in there. Stevo giving this one a good ride, but caught in left field. Out number 3. Top of the 5th, or 6th, excuse me, with the top of the Flamingos order up. And that is going to be a Sakudo. Bounce out. Steelflex grounds out as well. Or, excuse me, Catil grounds out. And then Steelflex up, flies out to the deepest part of the yard, basically, for out number 3. 1, 2, 3, the Flamingos go. Not what you want to do when you're down by 10. Hepcats, Shaw Dynasty. Does he have a 3rd home run in him? No, but he does have a 3rd hit. That is a single to left. So nobody out. 1 on for Ryan Lawrence. He's going to bounce this one to the 3-6 fielder's choice. So they get the lead runner. Damian Thriller pops out to the third baseman in foul territory, so 2 outs for Mantle, and Mantle lines it to right, so nothing coming across for the Hepcats, and the Flamingos needed kind of a quiet inning there. They trail by 10 as we enter this last third of the ball game and see if they have any gas left. Daniel King is going to lead things off with a single as Jeckers entered the game, so Glorbenspiel's day is done. Nicely done for him. That is going to be an error on the Hepcats. Trying to get the lead runner out. Pitcher throwing it to short. Cover in first didn't work. Lightning McQueen strikes out, but runner still on first and second. Only 1 out. D. Fernandez up and gets this one over the third baseman's head. That'll load the bases for Dan Johnston.
Strike 3.
Strikeout swinging by Dan Johnston. That's going to make it a little bit tougher for the Flamingos to score. Timothy Jr. with a hit already in this game is going to go deep, but caught on the run by Mitchie Mantle to save what certainly would have been some runs across. Inning is over. Bottom of the seventh inning stretch. Mathers, Azo, Garbanzo set to hit as that is going to be a laced shot by Slim Mathers, out number 1. Azo grounds out to the shortstop, cannot make it 4 hits on the day. George Garbanzo is going to bounce out to the shortstop as well. 1-2-3, the Hepcats. Offense goes down quickly. Top of the 8th, Flamingos, Sakudo trying to lead things off here. If he gets on base, he could steal. But he will not. Ichiban Sakudo is going to ground out to the shortstop. Miroslav Katil bounces out to the second baseman, so 2 down quickly for the Flamingos, as Steel Flex is going to get on base with an infield single. Daniel King up, 1-2 count as Bauer El Perro is entered the game, will strike out swinging. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Hepcats could have their last chance here to swing the bat. They've had a 10-0 lead for the last few innings now. Don Marcus leading things off with a strikeout.
Strike 3.
Herb Stevo strikes out as well. So back-to-back Ks for old Chucky on the mound. Full count for Shaw Dynasty. And the Hepcats will strike out to end what could be the game basically here. We go to the top of the 9th. Nash DeVille leading things off for the Flamingos. That is going to be a fly ball, towering fly ball to center field. 1 down. Lightning McQueen striking out swinging. That is out number 2. Last chance for the Flamingos to keep this game alive. D. Fernandez bounces out to the shortstop, and the Hepcats win in a big shutout 10-0 victory over the Florida Flamingos. Checking out the box scores here. Got Azo as the player of the game. Big win for Glorbenspiel, though. Let's check out the rest of the minor league scores. Dillos win 10-6 over the Puerto Rico Rhinos. Both teams sitting at 21-16. Looks like Abigail Mills is going to be your player of the game here in this one. Anchorage Wheelers, 4-3 victory. Looks like they walk it off or go ahead runs here in the bottom of the 9th. Looks like Otage, the hero in this one. Is that Enoch's player? Anyway. Guy Manuel Lore is going to be your player of the game. No decision, but pitching well in the start for the Anchorage Wheelers. Swift Seeds winning 9-3, big victory over the Louisville Lemurs on the road. And Boog Barrow is going to be your player of the game in this contest. Firehawks walk it off in the bottom of the 12th to take down the Brew City Bears. They're back above 500 now. Looks like it was Zen, the hero in this game. Colton James, though, is your player of the game. He is on the Bears, however, in the loss. But yeah, look at that. Everyone getting used in the bullpen. I don't know if we'll have any majors games or if it's going to be an off day. It is an off day. So we're going to advance the day. Double check the schedule. We have State College Swift Steeds and Louisville Lemurs after this quick sim. So if we want to get a prediction going, would appreciate it. But yeah, we're kind of at the back half of this sim or this stream, so let's keep things moving. Do we have minors this day? We do. Okay. All right. It's gonna be the Vancouver Vandals winning over the New York Voyagers 3-1. Xavier Crawford going to be your player of the game despite the loss there. Just no offense, I guess. Outer Banks Aviators went 6-5 over the Boise Raptors on the road there. Cole Kim is going to be your player of the game in this contest. Other Legends matchups: the San Antonio Sloths winning over the Buffalo Surge 7-6. So Sloths kind of hovering around there. Big Vito going to be your player of the game in this contest. Pathfinders winning 6-1 over the Providence Crabs. Cy Duck, Toronto starter getting the win, is your player of the game. It's going to be the Space Rangers winning 4-2 over the New Orleans Rougarou. Allegra Macarena is going to be your player of the game in this one. No decision in the start for the Space Rangers. Death Valley Scorpions staying hot. I think they have one of the top records. Well, not quite. 5-1 victory for them over the Cancun Toros. Jeffrey Lebowski, the DVS starter, getting the win and is your player of the game. Demons knocking down the Toros 3-1 on the road. Only 3 total hits for the Toros. Vader Page going to be your player of the game here, getting the win for the Demons in the start. And the Seattle Sea Serpents are going to take down the Apex 5-2 at home. McGurd is going to be your player of the game here in this matchup, getting the win as the Seattle starter. And that'll wrap up the majors matchups on this June 8th. Swing it over to the minor leagues. Louisville Lemurs shutting out the State College Swift Steeds. And again, a reminder, be sure to wager some channel points. Total hits over under 16.5 for this game. But yeah, 4-0 victory here for the Lemurs. Player of the game in this one is going to be Brian Eshelman Jr., the Louisville starter, getting the win. Kansas City Hepcats shutting out the Flamingos once more. 6-0 victory this time. Bob Porkman, the Hepcat starter, is going to be your player of the game, getting that win here. Dillos win 5-0 over the Puerto Rico Ranas. A lot of shutouts this day, I guess. Taking a look at things here. Valorant Arcanum going to be your player of the game. Starter for the Dillos, getting the win. 6 1/3 of work. Kingpins win 13-1 over the Wheelers. Both teams sitting at 500. "21 total hits for Chicago. Look at that. Almost everyone getting multi-hit games. Look at all those 3 hits. Crazy. Cryas Kid is going to be your player of the game in this matchup. And the Brew City Bears win 6-4 over the California Firehawks. So a lot of teams here in the minors hovering around 500. I think that's 3 or 4, I know for sure, that are sitting at 19 and 19 right now. Steven Schlossberg, the California Firehawks starter. No decision here, but is your player of the game. Okay, let's keep it moving here. We have the Louisville Lemurs and State College Swift Steeds. Over under 16.5 total hits. A lot of people on the over, about double that of the under. We'll see if that holds true. And be sure to wager your channel points. We're approaching our last 2 streamed games of the day. Last game on stream will be the Boise Raptors and San Antonio Sloths. Alright, last chances here to get your channel points in. Alright. First pitch coming from Rick Roll, dealing to Smokey Bear. Let's get it going. Lemurs hosting the State College Swift Steeds. Smokey Bear, State College's shortstop, another SS, is going to lead things off with a hit. We get some ones in chat. We're targeting, what are we targeting? 16.5, so we got one up already. Calvin Cool Crab up now. It's going to bounce out to the 5-4-3 double play. So hot hitting Cool Crab cannot get any more hits. Bottom of the first we go. Louisville's bats up. Gumby, Josh Allen, Ben Kruger. Ozzy Bones is going to be the starter for State College, and he gives up a leadoff single to Gumby. Josh Allen up, will fly out to right. Ben Kruger now will bounce out to the 4-6-3 double play, so almost mirror images of each other there. They get a leadoff single, they get an out, and then they get it ground into a double play. Ingle McCringleberry going to lead things off for State College in this scoreless game here. Flies out to left. I'll bring up Yoshi Yoshironi, who bounces this one in front of the left fielder for an one out base hit. Hayden Andrews Jr. strikes out swinging. Runner on first for Vincent Asaro, who's going to gap this one to right center. Will they send the runner? They should, and it looks like they will. Vincent Asaro with a triple, RBI triple to get our first run across in the game. State College takes the lead. Adam Joy is going to ground out to the shortstop to end the inning, but the Swift Steeds are going to take the lead 1-0 after the top half of the second is over. Bottom of the second we go. Sobert Ramberg leading things off. And that is going to be a fly out to center. One out. Archduke McCannon up. Oh, wait, hold on. No, that was not a fly out. That was an error. Ooh. Could come back to haunt the Swift Steeds, especially now with runners at the corners. Diego Javier Franco, though, strikes out on the big hack, bringing up Neller Denstro. And Neller Denstro flies out to center, not deep enough to do the sac fly. Carl Beatty Jr. grounds out into the 4-6 fielder's choice, so no runs coming across from Louisville despite the good opportunity. 5 total hits in the game. The unders may be feeling a little bit nervous. Boog Barrow, the catcher for the Swift Steeds, is up. We'll give this one a ride to left. That is one down. Smokey Bear up, and that is a one-out base hit for Smokey Bear. 2 hits for him today. But Chance Grove grounds out into the 6-4-3 double play to clean up the top of the third. State College still leading 1-0. Louisville Lemurs second leadoff batter, Alaskan Bullworm, set to go. That is a ground out to the shortstop. 1 out for Gumby, who bounces out to the third baseman. So 2 up, 2 down. Josh Allen, can he get something going? No, is going to ground out to Ozzie Bones on the mound there, who's pitching well. 3 innings, no scores. Top of the fourth we go. Calvin Coolcrab leading things off for the Swift Steeds is going to bounce out to the shortstop, or excuse me, the pitcher. That is 1 out. Ingle McCringleberry also grounds out to the third baseman. Yoshironi strikes out swinging. Rick Roll, 4 innings, 3 strikeouts, only 1 earned. We go to the bottom of the fourth. The Lemurs, 3, 4, 5 hitters, big part of the order due up, and Ben Kruger is going to get things going with a walk. Sobert Randberg up, is going to bloop a single to left. So that is going to be runners on first and second. Archduke McCannon grounds out to the 6-4-3 double play. We've seen 4 total double plays between both teams. And Diego Javier Franco strikes out looking. So we've got 7 total hits on the day through 4 innings. Only a 1-0 ball game. State College trying to put up a crooked number there to help out their pitching. And Hayden Andrews Jr. is going to help out with that with a lead-off single. Vincent Asaro had that triple earlier, lines this one out to left. 1 down. Adam Joy gets a single, and that's going to roll all the way to the wall. Do they send the runner? No, he holds up at third, so runners on second and third. Good scoring opportunity for Boog Barrow. 1 down as Fatima's entered the game now, and that is going to score 1. Not a hit, but does get the run across. 2-0 ball game now as Barrow grounds out to the shortstop. Smokey Bear with the runner in scoring position watches strike 3 go by. And so that will do it for the top of the fifth. Bottom of the inning we go. 2-0 lead for the Swift Steeds on the road against the Lemurs. Neller Denstro is going to pop out to the third baseman in foul territory. That's 1 down. Carl Beatty Jr. now strikes out swinging. So 2 up, 2 down for Ozzie Bones, who's got his 3rd strikeout of the night. Alaskan Bullworm due up, and he will ground out to the third baseman. So 1, 2, 3, the Lemurs bats go. They have not gotten anything going yet to this point in the game. State College looking to add more. 2, 3, 4 hitters due up. Chance Grove is going to fly out to right. That is 1 down, just swinging at the first pitch he saw. Calvin Coolcrab now is going to take this one high, but directly at the center fielder Randberg. Two down for Hingle McCringleberry, who gets a 2-out knock. First hit of the day for McCringleberry. And then Yoshi Yoshirani pops out to the second baseman, just running in the outfield there for out number 3. 2-0 lead remains for the Swift Steeds. They cannot add to it. Bottom of the 6th we go. Only 10 total hits, so maybe the unders are feeling pretty good. As Gumby grounds out, Allen will follow suit. 2 up, 2 down for Ben Kruger, who draws the walk on 4 straight pitches. So Randberg up is going to pop this one up high in the infield. First baseman able to get under it and catch it for out number 3. 1, 2, 3. The Lemurs go as they've done so much in this game already. Hayden Andrews for the State College Swift Steeds up. It's going to ground out to the second baseman. Asaro now is getting a hard hit single to left. 1 on, 1 out for Adam Joy, the DH. And the DH hitting. That is a double as it gets all the way to the wall. And Speedster Asaro is going to score all the way from first. Heads up base running. State College now extends their lead 3-0. Boog Barrow pops this one way up high. Shortstop able to get to it, though, for out number 2. Smokey Bear is going to get a single to right. Do they send the runner? They do. It's going to be close at the plate. Safe. So Joy comes across. 4-0 ball game now in favor of the Swift Steeds. We've got a stolen base attempt, and it's good there by Bear. And an error is going to allow Bear to get all the way to third. Chance Grove can't knock him in, though. That is a ground out to second baseman. So couple runs for the Swift Steeds in the top of the 7th inning stretch, and the Lemurs need to stretch out a little bit here. But maybe they'll have a chance against Kaspai here. Bones Day is done. And Archuk McCann's going to lead things off with a single, 4th hit of the game for the Lemurs. Yeah, Diego Javier Franco grounds out to the third baseman. Runner does get to second. They don't try to turn 2. Neller Denstro up, bounces out to the shortstop. Runner has to hold at second. 2 down for Carl Beatty Jr., who gets a single past the second baseman. They send the runner across, and he is safe. So Carl Beatty Jr. with an RBI single. Lemurs with their first run of the contest. Runner still in scoring position. Alaskan Bullworm's going to check his swing. Doesn't matter. It was in there, and that is out number 3. Top of the 8th we go. State College up 4-1 after the Lemurs score a run. So we are entering the last little bit of the contest. Calvin Coolcrab is going to get a knock here. That is a leadoff single. And Hingle McCringleberry robbed of a hit. Sliding grab there by Carl Beatty Jr. And then, hold on, we've got a wild pitch or something. As Yoshironi draws a walk. Runners on first and second, 1 out. And Hayden Andrews draws a walk. So now we got bases juiced. Only 1 out. Ishioka in a jam. But the first baseman's going to get it over to second. They cannot turn 2. Run does count. I'm surprised they didn't go home with it. Cesaro is going to get that runner across. Runners at the corners, 2 down for Joy. And Adam Joy is going to fly out to right, so no more damage across. 5-1 lead for the Swift Steeds here as we go to the bottom of the 8th. And one more hit, we hit the over. Gumby leading things off. And Gumby's going to hit the over and a home run, keeping the Lemurs in this ball game. Solo shot, but I'm sure Louisville would have liked to have some runners on base. But that is what the Lemurs need more of if they want to, tie this one up, take the lead. That is a pop out by Ben Kruger. Josh Allen. Ben Kruger up with 1 out will leg out an infield single as Tim Cramblin enters the game for the Swift Steeds. Randberg is going to ground out to the second baseman. Runner does get to second, though. And Archuk McCannon gets a single. Do they send the runner? No. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. Javier Franco is going to get a single up the middle. That is going to be a clutch 2-out RBI by Diego Javier Franco. Runners on first and second. Neller Denstro up, draws the walk. Bases juice. Carl Beatty Jr. up, batting .347. Strikes out swinging. So a couple runs coming across for the Lemurs, but they still trail by 2. 5-3 as we enter potentially this last inning of the game. Boog Barrow leading things off. And that is a lead-off single up the middle. Smokey Bear now up. And that is a bunt. does its job, though. Chance Grove up. And Grove's going to bounce out to the shortstop. That is 2 down. Cool Crab now gets a single up the middle. Do they send the runner? They do, and that is an RBI single. Cool Crab able to get to second. So State College gets one of those runs back. 6-3 lead for him now, and they might have another one. Hingle McCringleberry, another single up the middle, and Cool Crab's in there safely. So 7-3 ball game now. Swift Steeds making it happen with a 2-out rally in the top of the 9th. Yoshironi's going to bounce out to the shortstop to end this half of the inning. So 4-run deficit for the Lemurs. They need everyone to hit, basically. It's going to be Laskin Bulworm leading things off in the bottom of the 9th. That is going to be a dribbler catcher able to swing it over to first, no problem. Gumby flying out to left. 2 up, 2 down quickly. Josh Allen, the last hope for the Lemurs. 1-2 count from Cramblin, and Josh Allen grounds out to the third baseman. The State College Swift Steeds win on the road here against Louisville, 7-3. Taking a look at the box scores here. Ozzy Bones is going to be your player of the game in this one. Very solid outing. Let's look at the rest of the league. Wheeler's winning 3-2, walking it off in the bottom of the 9th. Wow. 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th there. Who scored the last one? Sack fly. It was Jose 43, the Kingpin started your player of the game. No decision there, but did pitch very, very admirably. No runs. Well, Firehawks win 8-6. Bears try to come back in the top of the 9th, but not enough gas when you're down by 5 runs. It's going to be Unruly Rowdy Diamonds are clear, not cloudy, as your player of the game. Let's look at the Dillos and Rana's score. 11-5 victory for the Amarillo Armadillos. They have one of the top records in the minor leagues, it looks now. It's going to be Leonidas Ruiz, your player of the game in this one. Helping the Dillos offense for a victory. And finally, in the minors, we have the Hepcats walking it off in the bottom of the 11. Looks like Erp Stevo, the hero. They win 6-5 over the Florida Flamingos. Last prediction of the night is up. Who wins, the Boise Raptors or the San Antonio Sloths? Be sure to wager it away. Get some channel points that can be converted into real fake PBE dollars. Herb Stevo going to be your player of the game in this matchup. All right. Swinging it over to the major leagues. Got the Pathfinders winning 3-2 over the Crabs here at home. Close one. What can I say except you're welcome? It's going to be the player of the game in this matchup, getting the win in the start. The Outer Banks Aviators went 4-1 over the Boise Raptors. Walrus Jones, player of the game. Outer Banks Aviators starter, getting the win. Buffalo Surge winning over the San Antonio Sloths. That's a 6-2 victory for Buffalo. Good road win for them. Tunch Dentro, starting to heat up batting-wise, is your player of the game in this one. New York Voyagers pouring it on in the Vandals after they dropped the first game there. 14-5 victory for them. Big offensive day for New York. Johnny Patey V2 He's going to get the win, but no, it's going to be Frankenstero, the player of the game. Yeah, never mind. I thought he did better. All right, moving it over to the champions. The Space Rangers win 7-4 over the Rougarou, thanks to 3 runs in the top of the 9th. Scumino Holcavado, player of the game again here. I think I saw that once earlier in a box score. It'll be the Death Valley Scorpions winning a lot of games here. That's 4 in a row, maybe. They win 9-2. 4 or 5, yeah. Jake Kulik Warren is going to be your player of the game in this contest here. Detroit Demons knocking down the Cancun Toros 3-2 victory as the Demons storming back here in the sim. Not a lot of hits in this one by either team. Quentin O'Quarters, the Demon starter, is going to get your player of the game and the win. And the Seattle Sea Serpents at home knocked down the Apex 2-0. Another low-scoring, very few hit affair here in Seattle. Looks like Shane Knox, the hero in this one. And Cookie's going to be your player of the game, getting the win for the Seattle squad in the start. All right. And we'll go to the... Oh, let's double check the schedule here. So we have a quick sim and then prime time. So, yeah. So we'll advance the day. No games for either this day. So we'll advance and get our last game queued up. Prime time number 2, so we do have some TPE on the line. Sloss hosting the Boise Raptors. Who will win? Looks like a lot of people favoring the Sloss, but I mean, Jordan Gonzalez been playing real hot. Evil Dictators had kind of a rough go of it to start the season, but so has the Boise starter here in this one. So could be a high-scoring affair, but sometimes the OTP has a way of messing with expectations. Last chance is here to get your channel points wagered. All right. Let's do it. First pitch underway from the Southpaw Evil Dictator, throwing at Jordan Gonzalez. We are in the treehouse. San Antonio Sloss hosting the Boise Raptors, and Gonzalez is going to fly out to Jordan Beach-Abreu in right. That is one down. Corner vacuum slaps this one to left center, so that is good for extra bases. A stand-up double.
Strike 3.
And a strikeout from Papa Emeritus, the first. 2 down, excuse me. Runner still in scoring position for Xavier McMagic. Hitting hot, but bounces out to the third baseman for out number 3. Bottom of the first we go. Sloss bats due up. Ozzy Albies set to go as the San Antonio squad tries to get back to 500 here. And Albies grounds out to the shortstop. That's 1 down. Big Vito's up, and Vito's going to get a single. 1 out base hit for San Antonio. Lenny Longpipe also with a single to center. That is going to be runners on first and second. And Zane Cole's going to get this one all the way to the wall. That's going to score 1. That's going to score 2. So a 2 RBI double by Zane Cole to put the Sloss up early. 2-0 in the bottom of the first. And they're not done yet. Jordan Beecham Braves with a single up the middle puts runners at the corners. That is going to be a dribbler to the pitcher. Runner holds at third. And then a pop out by Lanikai in foul territory. So could have maybe gotten a few more, but they do get a couple across. San Antonio leading 2-0 as we go to the top of the second. Barry Allen is going to draw the walk here. And Allen takes off for second, is in there easily. Why not Cove giving this one a good ride, but caught all the way at the warning track. Allen is able to tag. Michael Williams up will draw the walk, so runners at the corners for Multoid Man. And Dennis Multoid Man will bloop a single. That's going to score 1. So Raptors on the board for 1 after the RBI knock. Runners on first and second for Binker McTavish. Could do some more damage, but that is going to be a 3-6 fielder's choice. They cannot quite turn it. Davis beats it out. Gonzalez with a clutch 2-out RBI single is going to put runners back at the corners and make it a 2-2 ball game. Corner vacuum up as Gonzalez swiping in there easily. And vacuum is going to get this one past the third baseman. Runner scores 3-2 ball game now in favor of the Raptors. That is going to be an opposite field knock by Emeritus, scoring Gonzalez, and corner vacuum is going to get all the way to third, so we got runners at the corners once more. Loud off the bat by McMagic, but caught in left, so the rally is over. Boise strikes for 4 in the top of the second. They now lead 4-2. See what San Antonio can respond with here in the bottom half of the inning. Antonio Fresca is up, and Fresca's going to bounce out to the second baseman. 1 down. Bartholomew Brown going to ground out to the shortstop. That's 2 down now. Albies will ground out to the first baseman, dumps it over to Mize covering. And 1-2-3, the Sloss bats go. Top of the third, Barry Allen leading things off for the Boise Raptors. That is going to be a Barry Allen ground out to the first baseman, swinging the first pitch he saw. Why not Cove bounces out to the third baseman quickly now. There's 2 down. Michael Williams giving this one a good ride. Does it have enough? It's hooking, and yes, it's gone. Home run. Michael Williams with his first home run on the season makes it a 5-2 ball game. Dennis Multoid Man is going to lift this one directly to Bartholomew Brown in center to end the inning, but the Raptors get another run across on the solo shot. 5-2 ball game as we go to the bottom of the third. Big Vito is going to get a single to right. That is a leadoff base hit.
Strike 3.
And now a strikeout swinging by Lenny Longpipe.
Strike 3.
Zane Cole will also strike out. This time looking here. Beecham Brays up. And Beecham Brays is going to get this one to left. That is good for a single. Runner is able to get to third. Very close play. Lutz with a good RBI opportunity will come through. RBI single for James Lutz. Now a 3-5 ball game. Still anyone's game. Runners on first and second. 2 outs for Lanikai, but Lanikai's going to bounce this one back to the pitcher for out number 3. 3-5 ball game. Pretty close here in San Antonio. We go to the top of the fourth. Binker McTavish leading things off for Boise. Watching strike 3 go by is McTavish on pitch number 7. That'll bring up leadoff hitter Jordan Gonzalez.
Strike 3.
Gonzalez is going to watch strike 3 go by. Right on the edge there. Maybe didn't like the call. 2 down in the inning for Corner Vacuum, who laces this one on the 3-0 count. That's ballsy. And that is going to get all the way to the wall. Vacuum's second double, third hit total of the day. Full count for Papa Emeritus. The first, excuse me, draws a walk. And we got runners on first and second for Xavier McMagic. McMagic, hot shot to third, but it is fielded. Gets it over to second for the force out, and the Raptors can't come across with any in the top of the fourth. Bottom of the inning, Antonio Fresca leading things off for the Sloths. Fresca is going to gap this one off the wall. Nearly got out of here, but is going to be in there with a sliding double. So good way to lead off the inning for San Antonio. Bartholomew Brown up, and Brown is going to ground out to the shortstop. Fresca able to get to third. Osmandi's Albies up, and cannot score the run. Dribbler back to the catcher, swings over to first, but Big Vito's going to come through with a 2 RBI base hit. That's an extra base hit at that. Gaps that one to right center. 4-5 ball game in the bottom of the fourth. Lenny long pipe up, lines it to Michael Williams there in center to end the inning. 4-5 ball game, still anyone's ball game. Top of the fifth we go. That is going to be a leadoff walk by Barry Allen, bringing up Why Not Cove. And Allen's going to be successful in the stolen base attempt.
Strike 3.
Cove strikes out swinging with that runner in scoring position. 1 down for Michael Williams, who had that home run earlier. Big hack, no home run this time, not even contact. That is a strikeout. As now Commander Shepard's entered the game.
Strike 3.
Striking out Multoid Man, and that will do it for the top of the fifth, so no runs across for Boise. We go to the bottom of the inning. Heart of the order. 4, 5, 6 hitters due up for San Antonio. And that is another gap shot. Zane Cold getting this one all the way to the wall for a leadoff double. He's been hitting hot this sim. Full count, and Beecham Braze gets a single. Runner holds at third, though, so Cold at third, Beecham Braze at first, nobody out. Lutz strikes out swinging, though. That is going to be out number 1. Luigi Lanikai up, and Lanikai's going to get a single. That is good to tie the ball game up. RBI single, runners on first and second, 1 down now for Antonio Fresca. As Cooper S. Town has entered the game.
Strike 3.
And will deliver a strikeout, clutch strikeout for Fresca. Bartholomew Brown trying to get off the cold stretch. Grounds out to the third baseman, fielder's choice. We are all knotted up after 5 full innings here, about halfway through this game. Boise bats due up in the top of the 6th. Binker McTavish set to go. Ground out to the shortstop. 1 down. That is going to be a walk. Gonzalez on. Is stealing second and is in there easily. Runner at second, and we have an error. Corner Vacuum reaches on with an error. Runners at the corners. 1 out. And a line out by Papa Emeritus. Runners have to hold. Xavier McMagic up as Corner Vacuum steals second. And that is a big knock up the middle. That is going to score 1. That's going to score 2. RBI single, 2 outs by Xavier McMagic. His first hit of the ball game, and it's very clutch here. 7-5 lead now for the Boise Raptors. Barry Allen flies out to right to end the inning. So San Antonio trailing after they had kind of held Boise in check after that 4-run second. Boise reclaims the lead. Albies, San Antonio leadoff hitter, set to get things started, will bounce out to the shortstop. That's 1 down. Big Vito grounds out to the second baseman. That's now 2 out. Lenny long pipe up, and long pipe is going to get an infield single here. Bringing up Zane Cold. Cold grounds out to the shortstop, fielder's choice there. And we're through 6. Last third of the game. 7-5 lead for Boise. Why Not Cove set to lead things off. Cove giving this one a pretty good ride, but caught at the wall by Luigi Lanikai. 1 down. Favorable count for Michael Williams, who draws the walk as Wendy Marvell has entered the game. That ball given a ride directly at the center fielder. That is out number 2. Baker McTavish going to ground it to the third baseman, who's able to get it to the force out at second for out number 3. Bottom of the 7th we go. San Antonio still trailing by 2. 5, 6, 7 hitters due up. That is going to be a single up the middle by Jordan Beecham Braze. Now Now Lutz due up, and Lutz going to ground out the 6-4-3 double play. Nicely turned there up the middle. 2 down. Sloss, Luigi Lanikai grounds out to the shortstop, and that's it for the 7th. 7-5 victory or lead here for the Boise Raptors. Will they hold on to this and get the victory? Jordan Gonzalez grounds out to the shortstop. That's 1 down. And corner vacuum with a 1-out knock. So they're not going down quietly here.
Strike 3.
2 count, and Maritas strikes out on the big hack. So 2 down. And McMagic will also strike out. So Marvell trying to keep the door shut, keep the game close. 8-9 one-hitters set to go in the bottom of the 8th. That is going to be a single, leadoff single down on the count by Antonio Fresca. Bartholomew Brown is going to get this one over the second baseman's head. Tried to jump for it. Runners on first, second, nobody out. Josh Berger's entered the game now. Ozzy Albies is up and grounds out to the third baseman. Runners do get to second and third somehow, though. Big Vito up. Is that a sac fly? No. So 2 down, runners on first and second. Long Pipe's got to clutch it up, and he does. That's a gap shot to left center. That's going to score both of them, and Lenny Long Pipe is sliding into second with a 2 RBI double, 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th to knot it up. Zane Cold giving this one a ride, but it's going to be Michael Williams catching it over there in center. And so now we've got the Boise Raptors in the top of the 9th. Game's all tied up. Barry Allen set to go.
Strike 3.
Will strike out looking. Wendy Marvell still in the game there in relief. Why not Cove up? And Cove bounces out to the second baseman. 2 down quickly for the Raptors. Michael Williams on the full count. Grounds this one to deep shortstop. Great play by Fresca. And now we go to the bottom of the 9th. Do we have extras? Do the Sloss walk it off right here, right now? Beechup Rays, Lutz, Lanikai, all due up. Beechup Rays is going to pop up in foul territory to the catcher. That is 1 down. James Lutz grounds out to the shortstop. 2 outs very quickly for the Sloss. And Lanikai draws the walk, so go-ahead runner on first. Their game-winning runner on first. Fresca up, and Fresca's going to knock a base hit. It's the 3rd hit of the day for Antonio Fresca. Brown could be a hero. Single will win it. Grounds out to the first baseman, who dumps over to the third, or to the pitcher covering. 3 down. We're going to extras. Free baseball here, folks, in San Antonio, top of the 10th. Dennis Moltoid, man, laces this one opposite field down the right field line, and that's a great start for the Raptors in extras as they have a lead-off double. Binker McTavish now. 2-2 count from Lizzie Mitchell as Marvell's left the game. And that is going to be 1 out, ground out, shortstop. They walk Gonzalez, so that'll bring up corner vacuum. Corner vacuum lifting this one high and deep, but caught at the warning track. Runner does tag with 2 outs. It's going to be a little tougher to get him in. Papa Maritas
Strike 3.
Strikes out with a big-time RBI opportunity. So we go down to the bottom of the 10th. Albies, Vito, Long Pipe, big part of the order for the Sloss. Can they win it right here, right now? Albies grounds out to the third baseman. That's out number 1.
Strike 3.
Big Vito strikes out swinging. That's out number 2. Full count for Long Pipe. Draws the walk. So Zane Cold, hot hitting third baseman here for the Sloss. Gonna ground out to the second baseman to end the inning. So we go to the 11th. 7-7 ball game. Back and forth this game's been. Magic giving this one a ride. Does it have enough? No. Caught by Beechup Rays and right. That's 1 down. Barry Allen up. And Allen strikes out. Swinging. That's 2 down. 3-1 count for Why Not Cove. And that's going to be a walk. Michael Williams up. But Cove steals second, so runner in scoring position. Williams cannot knock him in, though. Big hack as Lizzie Mitchell getting it done here in the top of the 11th. Bottom of the 11th we go. 5, 6, 7 hitters up for the Sloss. Beecham Braze bounces this one back to the pitcher. No problem for Cook. Full count for James Lutz.
Strike 3.
And will strike out swinging. So now Lanikai due up. Neither team want to shut the door here. Lanikai will get a single past the third baseman. Bring up Fresca. Fresca's been hitting well this game, but is going to fly out to left to end the 11th. Neither team has scored at all in the last 3 full innings. Top of the 12th. Multoid Man McTavish and Gonzalez leading things off. Multoid Man's going to get a base hit down the left field line, but that is going to be a single. Banker McTavish up will ground out into the 4-6 fielder's choice. Now Gonzalez up.
Strike 3.
Jordan Gonzalez striking out, swinging. 2 down, and that is going to be a stolen base attempt gone wrong. Banker McTavish gunned down, trying to steal second. Bottom of the 12th we go. That is a strikeout by Bartholomew Brown. Ozzie Albies up. Albies is going to bloop a single over shortstop. So go ahead runner on first. Big Vito up, full count. Going to bounce out into the 4-6-3 double play. It's not over yet, folks. Top of the 13th. Nobody wants to win this game. Corner vacuum due up.
Strike 3.
And corner vacuum's going to strike out swinging. Papa Meritus the first. Up. Bounces one down the left field line. That is good for a hustle double as Kumuro in the game now, giving up their first hit. McMagic is going to get intentionally walked here, bring up Barry Allen. Allen's going to ground out the 6-4-3 double play. Smart intentional walk. That's heads up baseball. Bottom of the 13th. Long pipe, cold, Beecham Braze. Big part of the order for the Sloss here. Did they get it done right here, right now? Franklin Judge Cruiser enters the game, draws the walk. Is Lenny Longpipe go-ahead runner on first. Zane Cold with a single. Longpipe's going to get to third. They're just a sac fly away from winning it. Beecham Braze up, runners at the corners, and Beecham Braze is going to get robbed of a hit, but it's good enough for a sac fly. Michael Williams laid out, but it was enough to score. Lenny Longpipe from third, and the San Antonio Sloss win this one in the bottom of the 13th, 8-7. A lot of hits for the Sloss. It was crazy how close the game was because of it. Both teams using quite a bit of the bullpen. Lenny Longpipe, your player of the game. Let's take it around the league here. It's going to be the Outer Banks Aviators winning 6-5 thanks to a couple runs in the bottom of the 8th. They win over the Buffalo Surge. Hatsuke Oru going to be your player of the game in this matchup. Providence Krebs back to winning here after a little bit of a losing streak. 3-2 victory on the road against the Voyagers. Flamethrower Meta in the winning decision is your player of the game here in this one. Toronto Pathfinders walk it off. That was a close one there I was watching, but they walk it off thanks to a Harvey Brinkley Jr. sac fly in the bottom of the 9th to stave off the Vancouver Vandals. Josef Pilsudski going to be your player of the game in this one. It'll be the Lunar Base Space Rangers winning at home thanks to 5 runs in the bottom of the 9th. They walk it off. Looks like Cali Alvarez with a grand slam. He's had a big sim today. Grand slam in the bottom of the 9th to win it for the Space Rangers. Cali Alvarez without a doubt, probably your player of the game. It'll be the Apex winning over the Demons there. They were sliding a little bit against the Sea Serpents, but they get a big win at home. Close one here. It looks like, yeah, able to hold off the Demons there at the end of the game. Koala Kyle. It's going to be your player of the game. The Apex batter, third baseman, I think. Cancun dropped a couple, but winning here at home against the Sea Serpents 6-2. Looks like it's Nova Montaigne, your player of the game. The Cancun starter getting the win here in this one. And finally, Death Valley Scorpions keep winning. That's 5 or 6 in a row. Yeah, 6 in a row. 5-1 now, or 5-1 victory over the New Orleans Rougarou. Another big day for Rake Slimer. He's been killing it this sim. But Ryan Stryker Jr. is going to get player of the game, the win in the start for the Death Valley Scorpions. Let's take a look at the minor leagues here. Hepcats shut out the Kingpins. They win 3-0. So they inch above 500. They had a good series against the Flamingos previously, starting things out right on the road. One legacy point. The Hepcat starter, 5 innings, 5 shutout innings at that, is your player of the game in the win. California Firehawks winning over the Ranas. They scored 2 at the top of the 9th. Looks like Jolly, the hero in this one, they were able to shut the door in the bottom of the inning. Jolly might be player of the game as well. And yep, Joseph Jolly is your player of the game in the Firehawks win. Dillos win 9-2. They've had a pretty solid sim today. They take down the Anchorage Wheelers. Looks like it's going to be Kirby Bernard, player of the game, the Dillos leadoff hitter. State College Swifties winning 8-7 over the Flamingos in extras. Not quite to 500, but that's a good win for them on the road. Boog Barrow, your player of the game in this matchup. And finally, the Brew City Bears win 8-3 over the Louisville Lemurs. So, Bears a couple games above 500. Lemurs drop down to 20-20. Carl Beatty Jr. going to be your player of the game in this one. All right, and that is it for today. We're ready to upload to the index. as we keep uploading here. Appreciate everyone joining in. Should be done momentarily. Tomorrow looks like it's gonna be air crew streaming, and I will be streaming on Saturday where we announce our all stars. So season's approaching the halfway point. So we'll see how it develops the rest of the way. Appreciate everyone joining. I know it's a lot of minor league games, but we made it through. So we saw some fun late inning action. Sometimes the games are a bit of a snoozer, but they're pretty decent here today. Yeah, thanks for modding here tonight, Clifton. Appreciate it. All right, looks like we're all good to go. Index should be updated momentarily. All right, thank you all so much for tuning in. I will catch you Saturday, but be sure to tune into the stream tomorrow night. And yeah, we'll see you all later.